Volvo used to be a maker of big boxy estate cars. They were about as sensible as a pair of Marks and Spencer's knickers, and about as exciting, and equally likely to be beige. But in the past couple of decades, Volvo has got smart and sophisticated. And in 2017, when this arrived, you could add words such as cool and funky to describe your Volvo. Right, this XC40, like most, is spec'd in a rather conservative tone, but you can get them in striking white with a contrasting black roof and even orange carpets. See? Funky. Anyway, we reckon the XC40 is still a handsome thing, even in a subtle colour combination. At various points in the model's life, you could have had 1.5 litre petrols, 2 litre petrols, a variety of diesels and a plug-in hybrid. But from 2022 onwards, Volvo reduced this to just a pair of 2 litre petrol models and a fully electric model. The 2 litre models are both mild hybrids, which means you get a little electric boost, which helps you with fuel economy and performance. You've got the 163 horsepower, which is badged as the B3, which is this one. Or you can get the 197 brake horsepower badged as the B4. Both come with a 7-speed automatic transmission as standard. The XC40 is also front-wheel drive only, so despite the high-set driving position and styling, we wouldn't recommend tackling any seriously muddy stuff in one of these. It's about 4.5 metres long, which is about the same size as a Volkswagen Golf. And if you're looking at similar sized alternatives, they include a BMW X1, Audi Q3, Mercedes GLA, Range Rover Evoque, I will remember all of these, Jaguar E-Pace, or even an Alfa Romeo Tonale. And if you'd like a closer look at an Evoque or a Q3, why not turn up at a Motorpoint dealership and have a look? And before you do that, check out the reviews just here. And when you're there, click like and subscribe and hit the bell icon on so that you catch all of our latest videos. But back to our Volvo. Why should you buy an XC40 over one of those? Well, for starters, and this is pretty difficult for a smallish SUV, it has some proper off-roading vibes. We're not just talking styling here, but also the driving position. The BMW X1 and Audi Q3 in particular feel very car-like, but a lot of people go for SUVs because they like the raised driving position and the slightly better view you get as a result, which is exactly what the XC40 provides. So you feel like you're in a proper SUV rather than a jacked-up hatchback, which is a big tick from us. Another big tick comes in the form of some impressively comfortable seats. Now, Volvo has always been a master of seats, so perhaps that's no great surprise. What's also really impressive is the interior, because everything you can see, feel and touch feels genuinely upmarket and built to last. Less impressive is the 9-inch portrait aspect touchscreen. It's a bit fiddly and slow to use, and we would really like some physical buttons for the climate control settings. That all being said, the XC40 is very well equipped. From 2022, Volvo revised its trim levels to Core, Plus and Ultimate. But even the entry-level Core cars get all sorts of kit as standard, including a large digital driver's display, cruise control, dual-zone climate control, wireless phone charging and rear parking sensors. Because this is a mid-spec Plus model, you get keyless entry, heated front and rear seats, heated front screen as well as the rear screen of course, hands-free tailgate opening, parking sensors at the front and the rear, and a 360 camera. And if you really fancy splashing out on the ultimate trim level, then you get Harman Kardon stereo system, panoramic sunroof and adaptive cruise control. But these do tend to be a little bit pricier. Whatever the spec, all XC40s also come with Apple CarPlay connectivity and Android Auto, but you can also use your Google account to access and upload apps from the Google Play Store straight into the car's system. This takes a bit of time to set up, but it's worth putting in the effort because once it's done, well, it's done, and you don't have to connect your smartphone up to the infotainment system at all. Storage in here is fantastic. The door bins are large enough to accommodate a laptop. There's 2 cup holders, somewhere to put your mobile phone, and in here you can actually fit one of those really large tissue boxes. And there's also a removable bin. So let's see if I've got any rubbish in my pockets. Well, I have got a bit of French cheese that didn't get eaten and a bit of rubbish here as well. So instead of cluttering up your Interior, you can just pop it in there, take it out and throw it in the bin. In the back, you'll find there's plenty of room, even if you're taller than a 5'4.5" Rebecca Jackson. Only downside is that the seat bases feel a bit thin and flat and there's not much side support. We do have some rather attractive air vents which are directional, they are decent, and the heated seats that I mentioned earlier. And behind here we've got 2 USB-C ports so you can charge your devices. And I do like these for storing items in, and you definitely won't put any rubbish in because you've got your bin in the front. Your luggage will be treated to a pleasingly square and user-friendly boot space, but if we're talking numbers, its 452 litres capacity is a fair way short of the 540 litres you'll get in the boot of a BMW X1. Talking of the BMW X1, that's probably the benchmark for driving experience, so let's see how the XC40 stacks up in comparison. Well, the first thing you notice is that the Volvo XC40 doesn't try to be sporty, and we reckon that's a good thing, because do you really need that from your SUV driving around the ring road or navigating Sainsbury's car park? We'd argue that for 99% of the time, what you really want is a car that's smooth, quiet, comfortable and easy to live with, and the XC40 really delivers on that front. Okay, so if you really want to have some fun on a twisty country road, a BMW X1 is going to be a better companion for that. However, for most roads, most moods and most modes even, the Volvo is going to be a more comfortable companion. It's not slow either. Sure, the top spec electric models get an almost daft 408 horsepower, but even this B3, which is the lower powered of the 2 petrol models, feels perfectly quick enough. 0 to 60 comes in at 8.6 seconds, and if you go for the B4, it's 7.6 seconds. But even in this B3, it feels perfectly zippy. Okay, so you're not going to be posting drag racing videos of it on TikTok, but it's got enough puff for overtaking. Official fuel consumption figures are 42.8 miles per gallon for the B3 and 42.2 miles per gallon for the B4, but we reckon you won't see much better than mid-30s MPG in real-world driving. Another criticism we have is this 7-speed automatic gearbox. It just feels a bit lazy and slow to respond, and we feel is a bit dated in its design. If you look at a BMW X1 or a Range Rover Evoque, the XC40's key rivals, the gearboxes fitted to those vehicles are just a bit smoother and slicker in their responsiveness. Gearbox issues aside, the XC40 has aged very gracefully indeed. It feels fresh inside and out, and it's easily on a par with the premium brands. And we love the fact that it doesn't follow the sporty wannabe SUV crowd. If you fancy a smart, sensible and classy SUV, it's hard to find a better alternative. In fact, go to the Motorpoint website now and take a look. You never know, there might be an XC40 with your name on it.